Hello, my name is Zinita Masego. I am a Business Development Officer at the Sibande TVET College in the Center for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubator. Today we are coming live to you within the premises of our incubator. I am joined by our incubatees who are actually clients at the center. These are young people who came to the center with business ideas, some of them with actually businesses that are already operational, but then they needed help here and there to just sharpen their business idea or their businesses so that they can scale and maybe expand to other places. Now, today we're going to be just having an open discussion with my group here. So they come from different places from here in Mpumalanga. So today they'll be joining us just to discuss maybe the challenges that they are facing within businesses, the opportunities that they were exposed to, and maybe just give you guys practical understanding of entrepreneurship and the journey of an entrepreneur. So I am joined here by Puleng. Puleng is one of our incubators. She's been with us for now almost 2 years. We have seen the growth of her business. We have seen her throughout all the challenges. And then today, instead of me talking about it, she's here to just tell us her story. So Puleng, madam, how is it? How's business going so far?
Honestly, so far as we are picking up. We are actually growing as a business. As you know, since I joined the incubation, we were dormant when we came here. And then with the assistant that we got from the incubate, I remember it was in 2017 when I was applying for my accreditation. By the way, my company does training and skills development. Now we have expanded to do engineering. Okay. Yeah, specifically we focus on mining related services. So that maybe I will explain as we engage into the topics on how we got there. But then the main purpose of my business was training and skills development. So we needed to be accredited first before we can start our operations, because we didn't want to be named like the fly-by-nights that we've been through, you know. So we wanted to do our things proper. But then we had a challenge as we started the business that we needed a space to operate from. And then because when the sitters are doing audits, you will need to have your system in place, you will need to have your place and a workshop and all this. So that's when I came into the incubation. That's where I got the assistant to use the operational space and the workshop, and then we managed to set up. And then, by the way, our first audit with Mesita went well, and then we were given like 80% of the audit. Then we needed to fix there and there, and then the incubator got involved, and then we were lucky enough to be awarded our first primary accreditation. Okay. Yes.
So your company name is CTE Resources.
Yes, it's CTE Resources.
You are a training company, institution.
Training and engineering.
Yes. The expansion already within like 2 years.
Yeah, in 2 years, and now we are already having like we've got like now I think it's 3 revenue streams that we have. Because remember, when we look into the growth, well, I remember that was the advice I would get here, that you need to channel more of the revenue streams. But obviously, we had to start with something that will kickstart the business, that will make the business be operational. Because if we try to do everything at the same time, it wasn't working. I remember I already have a business that failed, actually businesses that already failed. So because of trying to do everything, and then it didn't work. And then with the advice that I got from the incubate and the other training programs I got from CEDA, from NYDA, then I went back to say, now, Puleng, do your homework now. What is it that will kickstart this business and make money? Remember, we are in business to make money. For me, it's just clear. I'm in business to make money, yes, and then when I'm making money, I'm able to create employment, I'm able to sustain the business, and whatever that we normally say, that we start in business to develop people. Sure. But that is not key. We start business to make money. So how will you develop people if you don't have the money and the capacity to do that?
Wow, Puleng, you have a lot to say. Now, let me bring Millicent on board. Millicent, you are still fairly new in the incubator. So at least with you, you're still like maybe in the pre-incubation stage. So you haven't been exposed as much as Puleng has. But then your journey in entrepreneurship has recently started. So what has been your experience so far?
My experience so far in the incubator is that it takes a seed of determination to grow rapidly in a fertile mindset. No matter how young you are, you should be able to take risk as a businesswoman or as an entrepreneur. Remember, the aim of being an entrepreneur is not to be comfortable, but it's for you to be uncomfortable to be successful. So the experience has been so great, even though I'm still starting up my business, but I hope for the best.
So you were not feeling alone this time?
No.
Okay. No, we are also joined by Tulan.
Hello.
Do you want to come in?
No, my name is Tulani. I'm the director of Backyard Master. So basically our company deals with kiddies furnitures, jungle gyms and all those things. So I'm also feeling new in this program in a sense that I joined a couple of months ago. And then, when I started out, I'd say I was running a tuck shop basically. I'm good with my hands, I'll do this, they'll pay me, and then after that, then life goes on. I didn't know about everything that has to go into a business for it to be sustainable. So I'm getting a lot of help from this incubation program.
Okay. So then there's also when Timothy, I know Timothy as well, he's in the manufacturing space. Timothy, you do steel fabrication. So then also Timothy's been with the incubator for also 2 years. And then when Timothy, from the time you came on board, how has your business expanded?
My name is Timothy Mtsweni, Director of Success Creamers, a company that does innovative manufacturing. Yeah, when I started here, I was like a hustlepreneur, whereby you ask me to hustle every day, at the end of the day, the amount we told you, yes, come in, shy, then. If you have a center, it opened my mind to see, I need to register my company, best of all. And I need to do it, even compliance. Then, after that, they also helped me, funding, access to all my clients, and gave me exposure. So the center really helped me a lot.
Okay, then no, it's a great one. I think I can also personally attest to the success of these businesses that are here with us. I know a few of them. I know with Puleng, how many employees do you have?
We currently have, let me not miscount. We've got
many?
Yes, I've got 4 full-time now, and then I think we've added another 3 on a contract basis. Okay. And we still have our assessors and moderators that are also on contract. They come on call when we have the trainings to do, and then they come on call. So we've got like an MOU with them that we paid, and then we pay them as we do the training. So we really have grown.
Timothy, how many employees now?
Now, permanent 3 employees, then part-time, casual, we got around 4. 4. Yeah, we on the manufacturing side. So I forgot to mention the production that we're by doing photo shoot, videography.
So another revenue stream.
Yes, another. Okay. It was also help from a center. After getting the funding, I managed to buy more equipment. Yeah, so.
Kulego, you're a business development officer within the center. Do you want to come in?
Our part, me and you. Okay, my name is Kulego Mahlangu. I'm a business development officer here at the Center for Entrepreneurship. I work with these entrepreneurs that are testing today that what has the center done for them. But for me, I'd say as much as we have done our parts, I think the people who did the most work, it's the entrepreneurs themselves. Because we could only do so much. We can just advise and give them the assistance, but if they do not implement, then the result that they're discussing here won't come to pass. But what I also want to, I think even for you from your side, when the only fulfillment you get is when an entrepreneur walks in with 0 rand in your center, and within the first 3 months, 6 months, or a year, their revenues has moved from 0 to probably 100,000, 200,000 through the intervention that you have put in place. And I'd say that I'd advise a lot of people to actually, even if no matter how good your business is, but you should always be part of an incubator, because that will help you to be able to grow and create systems for yourself. Remember, it's most of the time when we grow up, we didn't we were programmed to study, work hard, and go and work for someone else. Entrepreneurship is a fairly new thing, especially to us, the Black community, because even your mom still thinks that I didn't have a business where I go look for work, and but you know. Those are the type of mindset that we have to change particularly as entrepreneurs. I'd end there for now.
No, I actually like where this conversation is going, because earlier when we spoke, after you guys have introduced yourself, basically now we've got an idea as to who are you and what do you do. And now we actually know, at least we know with Buleng CTE resources that you are employing, at least you've got 3 permanent jobs that you've created, as well as you, Timothy. But now, I would say with most of people who want to start businesses, I would say even those with young people, most of you guys, the challenges that you have would be access to finance. I think most of the clients or people walk-ins that we have within our incubator, they would come in with ideas but say, I actually need funding. Where do I go for funding? But they're not understanding that it takes more to actually start a business than just saying you want funding. So with you guys, you had an opportunity of being polished before going out to pitch for funding. But then now your businesses are fully operational. They are running. As you guys are seated here, the businesses are actually running on themselves because you guys developed systems. But then now, because now funding, I know some of you guys sitting at home will say, yeah, but then as much as I want to start a business, I need to have finance. Now, how many of you, how did you guys start your businesses? Where did you source your finances from, your funding?
I think I can go in there first. When I started my business, I started it with 1,000 rand from my pocket. Okay. Yes. I had that mindset that for this business to work, I need funding. But then as I started, I noticed that basically funding was something that that is a need later, not for you to actually kickstart the business. Your idea, remember when you have it, it's for you to make money. So, and then when I started CTE resources, I popped 1,000 rand from my pocket. Okay. And then I put it into the business account. And then that's when I started now doing marketing the business. I started now making a Word document to say, this is CTE resources, what it's doing. These are the trainings that we want to offer. And I started emailing and sending to other people to say, use me. I remember I used to do trade test applications because I saw that something, when I do it, I don't actually need a lot of interventions of the SETAs and whatnot. I just meet a guy and I say, okay, we want to apply for a trade test. But then we cannot go to SETA ourselves because we are busy working for Sasol or the mine or whatever. Then that's when I intervened. I said, okay, I'll come in between. I will do your application, send to SETA. But then I remember I was charging 3,000 rand for it. So I do, but I will let the guy know, you can do it for free. You can go to Mesita and apply and whatnot. There's no fee. Okay. But then if I'm intervening because I'm taking my time and whatnot, then I'm charging you 3,000 rand. So then a lot of guys now started approaching me. The other referred the other, and then that's how I started making.
So you only started your business with only 1,000?
Yes, 1,000 rand. Yes.
And today, let's just roughly, how much is your turnover?
I have turnover more than 1 million now. Yes, yeah, turnover more than 1 million.
And there are we referring to 2020? The financial year?
Yes, 2020, yeah, 2019, 2020.
Basically, means 1,000 is the magic number then, because when I started out as well, I think it was about 1,500 that I spent because I was employed when I started out, and then out of the blue I decided, no man, this employment thing is not working out for me anymore. So I need to do something that I'm passionate about, something that I'm gonna enjoy. Then let me try this, and then I was doing it over the weekend. Over the weekends, pushing, and then I was getting more clients. But now the challenge was I wasn't getting enough time to go to attend all these clients because now during the week I have to go to work. Okay. And then I only have time on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Now, 3 days I'm supposed to be spending this time with my family, and then now you see I'm trying to balance this here, but I'm feeling somewhere else. So I had to decide, no, for this thing to, if I believe in this thing, then let me just leave work and then push this thing full time. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think the 1,000 is the magic number.
With me, actually, I would like to thank my sister, Sibande. She was the one who always put money behind my ideas. Like I tried a couple of ideas and those ideas failed like this man. But she didn't give up on me. She keep on popping that amount she had. Then until I bought my first pipe bender, which was 5,000. So she bought it for me. Then I started making my prototype. After making my first prototype, it's when I had a little bit of sustainable income stream because I was hiring out the prototype. Then that's how I got to this point.
When you're referring to your prototype, you mean your quadricycles?
Quadricycles, yes. Yeah, I'm manufacturing quadricycles and hang chairs. Yes.
Okay, for me, I think what we can take out of the whole conversation we just had, we believe, like me myself, people will tell you, hey, you need a business plan to do this. You need a business plan to do this. You need without a business plan, you won't be able to run. And you sitting at home, maybe your biggest frustration is that, where do I start with the business plan? But the fact of the matter is, you start. You start. It is not about the business plan. A business plan will work itself out as we go. The important thing, if you want to own that farm, that chicken or an egg farm, go and buy a tray of eggs or go and buy 50. Go somewhere.
Experience how it feels.
Sit in the corner. Once you're in the corner, then you send them those trays. Then you'll understand. Me, I'll just refer with myself. Me and the host, we started the business. The first time we started the business, we lost 10,000 on the blue. Like as expressed as 10,000 on the blue but did we stop? We didn't. We saw an opportunity without understanding the market. We said, okay, look. And in fact, at that time, I think we were interning. That was our salary. We took 10,000, put it in, hoping that to generate income. We lost everything. Like we were not like now, and our families were like, oh, what is happening? What is happening now? But we did not stop there.
The risk.
So, generally, I want to say, if you want to run, you must be able to take risks. You must be able to say, look. Well, did it pay off? Yes, because after taking that particular risk, we understood that, okay, we made a mistake here. But we also took that very same risk and we turned it around and said, okay, but we can sell this most. Okay, we have this. How didn't you come with solutions towards the particular? So what I'm saying is we must just start. If you want to go and sell sweets, go and buy that packet of sweets. Nobody should tell you that you shouldn't start. No, look, I like where the conversation is going because based on what we're discussing, finance and funding is not the reason for people to start. I'd say that sometimes, and if we knew that we didn't have to pop out our money in order for us to start our business, it would have been easy. We only realized at the later stage. No, but actually, if I have clients, you don't need money, you need clients. You need clients. Your clients will give you a deposit. You take that particular deposit, you go and start that particular business. That's what Robert Kiyosaki is saying. He's saying use other people's money to start your own business. And that is the direction we should be taking.
No, I like this one. Millicent, you are also recently starting. Are you also in the process of sourcing finances, maybe from any DFIs? What's happening? Where are you sourcing your capital from?
Okay, that's a very good question. And thank you for the question. Well, so far, I'm still applying for support, financial support. So we are still working in that process. Yes.
So guys, but just tell me, I know mostly the excuses that we would get, let me not say excuses, but then we would actually find others saying that, no, I've tried to apply, for instance, with CIFA, the IDC, your NNF, NEF, like for instance, all of those DFIs that are in the finance space. But then they would say at times there's a lot of red tape and the documentation that they require from you. But then did any of you guys have that experience where you'd go to a certain institution, request funding, but then after that you were not successful? What happened?
Yeah, we have, and it's actually, that one is actually very frustrating, especially when you come to a point where you realize now I need that funding. I won't lie, I've been funded by NYDA, 50,000 rand I received, and then I've been also funded by CEDA. CEDA funds the system, so I needed a financial system. I was funded by CEDA, but like I normally say, the relevancy of what we need, it's not what we're getting from those funds. Because now I went to see, I said I need a financial system because now I see my business is picking up and then I'm doing my codes on my Excel template and all that. And then sometimes I repeat the numbers, because you're in a hurry, you just want to do and send. But now I need a system that can update the number so that it doesn't repeat itself and all that. So I applied through SIDA. Now the provider that was appointed on my behalf to assist with the financial system, it's their system. Firstly, the guy didn't even understand what the system looks like.
So the challenge that you had maybe was the service provider that was given to you.
So my question was, when SIDA appoints these people, do they do a proper screening? Do they check these people know exactly what they're doing? Now I've got a system that I'm currently even not using because I don't understand it.
That was just
the person that came there took 3 days of my time for my business to teach me something that he doesn't.
But unfortunately, SIDA did award you.
I did get the funding, and then from NYDA as well, I was funded the 50,000. So the paperwork was not that much of a transmission. But the issue is always the business plan, because other people, that is the red tape, they would want the business plan. But then, and then you'll find, okay, they do have a voucher that you get so that they can get your provider that will do your business plan. Okay. But then that person doesn't take enough time with you to actually get all the details. Remember, it's my business. I know it better. I need to be involved.
I think in that one, that's where the incubator would come in. Instead of you drafting your own business plan, well, we do not draft business plans, but then we actually assist and train you guys to be able to draft your own. Because at the end of the day, you are the best person to actually talk about your business, you know. As much as I can assist, but Zenita's not hands-on or full-time in your business. So we expect you to be able to understand that when we speak of revenue streams, or we speak about challenges in the industry, when we speak about your sales focus and your financial projections, I know those ones are challenges, but then within the center, we do have a bookkeeper that assists with your monthly finances. I know monthly, you guys, all of you submit management account. So I think that's the best part. You know, funny enough, one thing I should say, that is actually I need a whip to actually direct this one. But then with them, what I like, it's more practical. For you, you know, you are fortunate you're still at home maybe, or you still want to start out. But then they've already made some of the mistakes, and we are there to just rectify them. One thing I do know, Thulani, you spoke about running your businesses as part of a shop, as well as yourself. I think it's, you know, it's generic. So what we do as a center, on a monthly basis, they report on their financials. We need to know if Tulani 20,000 came into the business, we need to know where did that money go. So it's not for just us to maybe just monitor your business. We're not policing, yes, but then it's just for us to say, for maybe instance, if you want to go and source funding later, we know that your finances can affect whether you get funding or not. So then by that, every month they would submit your management accounts, they would submit their bank statements, because we need to know where are they using that business card? Where is that money going into? You know, they need to be accountable for every finances within the business, and for them also to keep track of their finances. Because it's one thing to say you have a business that has a turnover of above $1 million, but you can't interpret your own financial statements.
Just to add on that, remember the most critical thing that most entrepreneurs should understand. How do they miss it in terms of finances? It's that they think that they are the business, and not understanding that there's a business and there's you as the owner of the business. Now, because it's like when my mom was selling chickens, she would sell the chicken. If somebody comes in and says, here's 80 rand, take a chicken. Hey, here's 80 rand, go and buy a milliman. You understand? You cannot separate the business from individuals. And that is, you know, they say that most businesses, they fail within a space of 3 years. And the major contributing factor is how do you manage your finances? And it's pointless for Puleng to say, look, I want to do training for GS College, of which it has about 5,000 students, maybe in first aid. But does she have the finances to run a training of that size? You'll find that, yes, in terms of the bank account, in terms of the bank statement, maybe she has, but physically now she does not have, because the turnover. How much have you turned over? Yes, I've turned over 400,000, a million. It sounds nice when as we are addressing it, but when you look at the practicality now, okay, you've turned over so much. How much do you have? How much money have you made? Remember, it is not about how much went through, but it's how much you are able to save or to create another revenue streams on that part. I think that is what we come in and say, look, you need to have another revenue stream. You cannot put your eggs in one basket. And like, let us take for COVID, for example. What happened during COVID? Where even businesses, most of them, they closed down because of COVID. They could not survive because of COVID.
I'm actually interested to know that how did you guys actually make it out of COVID? Because I know these businesses, all of them actually existed before the pandemic. And then like now it's like 7 months through the pandemic and the businesses are still standing. How did you guys actually maneuver through that? What happened?
You know, with my business, it was a bit of a different story because as much as the pandemic was a bad thing, but then for me, there's more positives than any other thing because I think a lot of parents realized and got frustrated with their kids during the pandemic because now you get tired of shouting, yeah, and then if they're outside doing their things and then you just check if they're safe and everything. So I think with my business, that's when it picked up and then that's when maybe I realized that, no, man, I can actually run this thing full time. So I think for me, it was more of a positive.
So then actually you resigned whilst people were losing their job when you resigned and then you were full time in your business.
That's when I resigned because I remember the 15th of June. I think we were on level 3. Yeah. That was my last day on the job.
Oh, wow. Now you're full time in the business.
I'm full time in the business, yes.
Oh, Tulani, okay, thank you for that one. Thank you for your input. I think this was a more fruitful one where we just like interact openly and you guys shared your stories very well. So thank you for tuning in. This is where we're going to wrap it up for today, but then we are going to continue the discussion. It doesn't end here. So there's still going to be more interactions, but keep staying tuned.